welcome back to, this is going to be Wiki Games' last sourcing slalom for two of us, me and Kathy. David, are you and Darren coming back for three more?
I don't think I'm coming back till Sunday. I'll be back for several more, but I don't think I'm doing any on Saturday.
And then what about you, Darren?
Well, the next one is 11 p.m. for me, so I'm not sure if I'll be there.
Well, we should let everybody know, too, that the next one is a little different than the thons. Usually we say every 4 hours. This one's going to be slightly different. It's going to be in 3 hours from now, I believe, at 7. And it's going to be the wrap-up of the sourcing slalom. And then it's going to be at 8 our time, so that would be 4 hours from now. It's going to be the start of the cross-country connecting. So it's a little different this time, so don't miss out. Show up 3 hours from now. Right, Kathy? 3 hours from now and 4 hours from now. Should be the way that it goes. Okay, so first things first, let's make sure everybody knows the word. I need everybody to type this in. Just quick, easy word. This is probably one of the easiest words you're going to have all weekend long. It's B. So here's how you win a prize. This is kind of different this time as well with the games. You're going to type in this word in the chat. And we have this wonderful, magical little tool that collects all your entries, and only one per person. And towards the end of this live cast, we will do the drawing. So good luck to everybody. And make sure you type in B. My gosh, we've got 17 people already typed in the magic word. Good for you guys. That's amazing.
I think next time we should do supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What a word.
Oh, my. Oh, I can't even say it, let alone spell it. Okay. Darren, you spell it for us.
No idea.
You first. And I agree. If everybody will do us a big favor for WikiTree, give us a thumbs up. All you got to do is click on that thumbs up icon. That helps us out, as well as chat with us. We'd like to hear what's going on. Are you guys loving the shorter thon that we have for sourcing? And then tomorrow will be the connecting. Are you guys loving it? Or are you wanting a little bit more time? Maybe sourcing is one of your favorite things. We were trying to figure that earlier. Do we like sourcing better or connecting better? So what do you guys think?
You know, I don't know if everybody realizes that we have an events committee that spends a lot of time planning these things and coming up with new ideas, but we really do take feedback to heart. We kind of scratch our heads sometimes figuring out what to do, but if people can give us ideas, we try very hard to incorporate them when we can.
And I will tell you that we had 3 of us here spent, I thought it was about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours that we had, that we were creating profiles, and those profiles that we were creating were the Olympians. So one Saturday we had a work session from the events committee, and we created these profiles for your Olympians. Something that we should probably mention now, because everybody's going to have to really think about this tomorrow. You're going to be out of time if you don't. So we kind of got some updates from Awen. The last hangout, the last live cast that we had here a couple hours ago, and overall the Olympian that gets the highest CC7 overall gets the gold for that particular CC7 climb event on Sunday, and then the second one gets the silver and then the bronze. I want to try and make sure if I explain this correctly. So that might mean that if you have an Olympian assigned to you that has a brick wall at the grandparents, you're not going to get a high CC7 off that person. If they're across the board, they have brick walls, then you might want to ditch that one and focus more on your 3, your 2, or your 1. It's completely up to your team what you do. But the goal is to get the gold medal. You have to have the Olympian that has the highest CC7. Here's something interesting, though. Your team, who knows? Who knows what the Olympians, your team could take home all 3 medals if you get high CC7. I know that David and I are on the same team, and we've kind of been chit-chatting in our team Discord, and it's probably going to come down to where we're going to take 2 Olympians, I think, and work on them.
Tammy's asking, what if 2 people are working together on 1 Olympian? So you can have your entire team working on 1 Olympian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got 4 Olympians. You can all work on 1. You can split it up 4 ways, however you guys want to do it. You don't have to work on all 4 of yours. That's what I think Sandy was saying. If you find one as a brick wall real quickly, you may not want to waste time on that one.
Nope. Ditch it. Yep.
You want to get at least one of your Olympians up there to be the highest score. If you can get 2 or 3, like Sandy said, we can may wind up winning all 3 medals to the same team.
And that would be the benefit of keeping some. So as Flo mentioned, so should we focus on 1? If you focus on 1, then you only have a chance to win 1 of those prizes. But if you focus on 2, you might get both of them in. You may not get any of them in, or you may get 1 in. It's really depends. And we don't know the score. Everybody here that you're looking at live on screen, we do not have any stats. We know no scores. We can't give you hints. You cannot bribe me with enough biscuits to give you the answer because I don't know it. I just don't know.
Have no idea what the number is at. So unless she's watching and pops in and gives us a number of where we're at sourcing, we're not gonna find out till they come on at 7 for the wrap up.
And even in the morning, in a couple hours, that some of those do know the stats, but they're not going to give them. The only thing they'll tell you is how many participants and example how many were sourced, profiles were sourced. So as a team, I really highly recommend that someone take a lead on every team while you're connecting tomorrow. Reach out to your teamies and say, what do we want to do? Do we want to work on all 4? Do we want to work on 3, 2, 1, whatever the best way to maximize your time to increase and get an extremely high CC7, because that would be the Olympian who takes the gold or the silver or the bronze.
The thing is, you don't know if your Olympian has an uncle already on WikiTree with 700, CC7 of 700. And as we were talking about earlier, you could have somebody that goes back to, colonial America, but nobody added any cousins or brothers, sisters. So you've got a CC7 of 10 or 12. So it's really a gamble which way you want to go, but.
Still don't know the answer, Tammy.
And you spend all day on the father's line only to find out that the mother's line was already connected. We've all had that happen. So
yeah, I love that when it happens too. In a connect-a-thon, you're working, and all of a sudden you see they go, "Oh wait, this might be a duplicate," and you look at it and you go, "Yes, this woman had 12 kids." And then they had several spouses and kids themselves. So it gets exciting. Now I know Darren already has found out that some profiles are already on WikiTree for years for one of your Olympians that you can connect up to, right?
Yeah. Well, someone else looked at it, but one of the Olympians, I can't remember which team of the one I'm a cheerleader of, the father's on WikiTree, and the father's CC7 scores over 4,000.
So you're saying the father's already on WikiTree
Yeah, the FASA's already on WikiTree.
And you can't connect yet. You can't connect until Sunday.
Yeah, I've got that profile locked too, so no one can connect on it. But the father has also got 3 wives, and none of them are on WikiTree.
So I think what you're telling us is we have competition.
Yeah.
So we
But it's
already know that
door.
you've got 4,000 CC7.
No, it won't be 4,000 straight away, because we just have to go back to the CC6 score to get be for the Olympian.
You're going to lose that 7th generation.
Yeah, you'll lose the 7th generation. But the other thing is, it doesn't have the father doesn't have any of his wives connected or created. So of course you've got to get connection points through there as well. So it's got to be interesting.
And you know what else is going to be? You just made me think of something else too. What else is going to be interesting is if you were kind of taking today and saying, let's source, let's take a little break, let's source. Like tonight, I was definitely, let's source, let's have a little bit of candy, let's source, let me have a little bit of candy. Tomorrow, I'm pretty quick with connecting. I can go through that pretty quick and quick. Sunday, all of us are going to be acting like we are running a race on Sunday because we want to get those high numbers. And we've got a lot of people on our team coming in to get those numbers. So it's going to be a really interesting race. And I think one of David's teams here might be the one to beat. You never know. And yes, so Sunday, the closed names will be open literally at the start. They will be open. Some might be open already. Darren, aren't some of yours open already? Or it was Amy's, I think, is open.
Yeah, I think some of the Olympians were like, you guys didn't have to create them because they were already created by someone else, and of course they'll be open. But yeah, most of them are on green privacy locked at the moment, and
I'll tell you the reason why they're privacy locked. We actually lost some Olympians. We had the little box that says, please don't do anything. We didn't privacy lock them completely because we thought the box would be enough. And we actually lost a couple of Olympians on a few teams because they were worked on. And we had backups, thank goodness. So that's the good news.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was
This is true. The tree wins no matter what.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But it sure is fun to win a prize. That one sure is fun. Okay, so keep in mind, everybody, if you haven't already, or if you think you haven't already, make sure to type the word B-E-E into the chat, and that will be the magic word that we're going to share with you guys. Just really quick, a few things that we thought we would share along the way. Let me put this in the chat now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this category, and I think most of you probably already have been here, but for those of you that have not, what this is a category of the wiki games. And a few things I wanted to mention, the selfies. So if you haven't put a selfie up, put a selfie up. So here's the man of the hour.
Alesh posted, he heard us.
He did. Alesh, if you get the opportunity, could you give us the total number of profiles sourced so far?
He did. Look up 5 from that one. Yep. Go up.
Go up.
Go up about
there
5.
We go. So we did. We got 10,000. Look how close we were to 11.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. 3.5 hours.
And I know at least 209 were participating. So that number probably went up a little bit too. So that is awesome. Okay. So the selfies. So Ruth, if you need help with adding the selfie to the page, just reach out to your cheerleader and they will help you get it all set up, and you can get your selfie up on the selfie page, which is really cool because we're separating them by team as well. So we get to see cool pictures of people's in their way that they WikiTree every day, their WikiTree shirts. That I know Christian, for example, with the red hoodie, that was a part of a bingo prize. Look at those lovely monitors. Look at Amy showing off her shirt. I don't have a shirt. I got a biscuit, but there's you too. So we've got a lot of people sharing it. I love, look at the toy computer setup for Wiki Games. I thought that was cute. That was so cute. So definitely reach out to your cheerleader, reach out to one of us afterwards after this livecast, and we can help you as well with that. So don't forget the selfie. I will put in also, since we're here, let's talk a little bit about the mugs. Kathy brought up a really good point that the mugs, not only are they cool and you can order them, but already they have the limited edition 15th anniversary mug as well. 219 participants. We were so close. So anybody want to take a guess? You guys want to take a guess on what you think will be at 6:59 a.m. Eastern time?
That's what, another 2.5 hours? Or just a little
I'm going to
over
go with 12,000.
I think we can do 12,000.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'll be a bit lower. 11,500.
Watch is going to end up right in the middle.
Yeah. Rose, she's pretty good. We're getting.
Oh, we're getting guesses.
We're getting 13. Look at that. That's awesome. Hey guys,
Might be a bit optimistic because sort of most of the people will still be asleep, won't they? Because
yes,
that's where the US is.
Well,
You're supposed to be asleep.
That is a good question. What is the makeup, I wonder, of the people in the States versus the people not in the States? So we've got like different regions. So I wonder what the makeup is. Who decided to join?
I know we've got some people that logged in today from London and Wales, and it sounds like our European friends are just waking up, maybe.
Yep.
I don't know what the time
Good
difference is.
timing. Good timing. So we're going to rely on you guys to do what? Another 2,500, 3,000 to get us up there. I think that we could do it. I think we can get there.
I know after this West Coast USer is going to bed.
Oh.
Well, this is great because we have a lot of people waking up in Europe and England. This is great. Yep. I love it. And since Flo is in the audience, I will also mention too that I dropped the link for B as well, and check it out. I think the biggest thing that I am supposed to say is B is not dead. So a lot of the really cool stuff that was around in B went to the WBE, the WikiTree browser extension, but B is still alive. B is doing a little bit different things. So check it out. I dropped the link to the help page that gives you some information so you can source with B. One of the things that just came out was a cemetery category creator that we use a lot. Kathy and I use that tremendously in one of our projects. So check that out as well on the page. But yes, so B is not dead. Now I happen to be allergic to bees. I like WikiTree bee, but as far as bees, I try to stay away from them. So okay, so we've got a lot of people here that are going to help us get to, what do we think? 13,000? I think so. What do you guys think? Okay. I've got 34 people watching and I've got 30 entries. So make sure that you enter the word B. We're going to do that in just a moment. We're going to do kind of a quicker live cast. And I agree. B does great sources. I do like that too. And B mainly does things off-site, while WBE actually does it within WikiTree itself. Okay, so Sue's liking 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a total.
She's being cautious.
She's being cautious. Being cautious. Okay, so while we're talking about the trees, because that's what these are named, Kathy and I kind of came up with these a little bit earlier, some facts and stats about trees. And the reason why we came up with these is because we're not mathematicians, and this is what we could come up with that Greg Clark wouldn't come up with. So, and if you happen to like AI, guess what? This was AI. This took us maybe half a second, Kathy, to come up, and it took us about 5 minutes to actually proof it and make sure it was accurate and correct. So just a couple tree facts. So I think everybody knows this. We learned this in elementary school, don't we? That trees produce oxygen. So one tree produces about 260 pounds of oxygen each year, which is enough for 10 people to breathe. But we didn't know, it didn't really go into details. Is that 1 day, 10 days, 1 year? We didn't really get an answer on that one. So trees absorb carbon dioxide and they take that from the atmosphere. And that's kind of handy too, because that's where we hear that trees clean the air a little bit as well. And if you are anywhere in a place that currently is the heat index over 100, David, that would be you. Right? That would be you. That would be
110 today.
I mean, they call this the dog. It was funny. The dog days of summer are back. And I was like, I don't think it left Texas.
No.
It's still there. But so trees help cool our cities as well.
Yeah.
And
every morning, right at 4 a.m., which is coming up, I get a text message from my city telling me it's going to be hot today.
And you're like, really?
Yeah. I've been getting that for months now.
And then you'll get the snow in a couple months. And we're like, where is this coming from? Help noise pollution. This I know for a fact. They have just removed a tremendous amount of trees from my house, my subdivision, in the major highway that's around the corner from us. And wow, it can get really loud, especially the choppers for the traffic get really loud. But they also provide homes for wildlife. So we like that as well. I have some cool comments in here. Okay, so Ruth just posted her selfie. Did everybody else do that? That's pretty cool. Birch syrup. Now I'm curious about that. I've had maple syrup from the tree. So now I'm curious. And this is where Steven's like, maple's popular. I've not had birch syrup. Did not know that. And charcoal trees. I don't think I even know what charcoal trees are. Do you? I don't know. That's amazing. Okay, so are you guys ready then to see who won the prize? Let me bring it up. This is the fun part. Let's see. I recognize so many of these names. Oh, it's slowing down. And there we go, Tammy. Yay, Tammy. So, Tammy, A1 will get in touch with you with the information, and congratulations for winning. That's pretty cool. Okay, guys, do you guys have anything else you want to share to help everybody tomorrow? You know, tomorrow's a really cool day. It's the connecting, so you can work on your own CC7. That's kind of cool. You can work on your watch list unconnected. You can work within a project that has a maintenance category for unconnected. Lots of options out there. What are you all planning on working on tomorrow? David, Darren, and Kathy?
I have a lot of projects that I can pull from. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. Now, is there anything, this is a question I had, is there anything that we have to do to log our...
Nope.
No.
Nope. That's
Nope.
part
It's
of
all
the other
automatic.
reason why we like connect-a-thons.
Automatic.
It's automatically going to count. So once you start the connect-a-thon, the source-a-thon, the sourcing silo, if I say it right, is done, then no more tracker button for connect-a-thon. So you just keep adding, and it will add up all by itself. Now, what you might want to do is have that, if you watch the earlier one, when you do add a profile for Connect-a-thon, you might want to call it Wiki Games. I think Azure gave that particular tip. So for connecting, you might just want to say Wiki Games when you hit save. And that way, you can go to your contributions, do a browser search for that particular word, and be able to count how many you actually added for connecting. It's kind of a little rough way or guess to find out.
Yeah.
And you get credit for connecting to anybody that's already, any profile that's already created.
You do not get credit if let's say that there is a John Doe and a Mary Joe. And let's say they're brother sisters. They're already on WikiTree, but they're not connected. If you connect those two together, Darren, help me out. That does not count, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You go from an existing profile to a new profile. Okay, so
Now,
existing to new.
You can add a profile. Let's say Sandy's not there at all, and I add Sandy to WikiTree. That does not count. But if I add Sandy's parents to Sandy, now I'm counting. Now it's starting to count.
If I create a new profile and add a profile to that, it doesn't count.
If you create a new profile, the new profile does not count.
Okay.
But if you add a profile to it, that counts.
To it, then that counts. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's a little diagram too on the wiki page. Let me see if I can bring that website up. Excuse me a second. Let me get my Stream Deck. I will put it here. There, and on this page, it will give you some of the tips, but it also has what I call a little diagram. It's not really a diagram, but it'll make sense when you guys see it. And it shows exactly what counts and what doesn't for the connecting. So no tracker button for connecting. And this is the one people do pretty fast. You guys rock through this one.
Christine Miller here says she's going to be working on our U.S. Governor's project. Christine is a U.S. Governor's superstar.
That's awesome, Christine.
Literally connected hundreds of U.S. governors.
See, what's really great about the connected, well, source-a-thon, the sourcing too, but the connecting, you can do your CC7, and a lot of people do. You maybe ran into a bunch of profiles today while sourcing that need family added. You could do that. Or jump in a project. Every project has an unconnected. So definitely look there. And if you have an interest, then jump on in and help a project out, because we love that. We would love to have our maintenance categories completely zeroed out. That's, full biographies, completely sourced and connected to the tree. And especially, David, for the governor's project, because you have the table that also shows, are they connected or are they not? So that would be really, really cool. And this is a really, really great idea too, to have a personal category on WikiTree. So then you could just add that category to a profile if you see it and say, oh, this person has 10 kids. I did not see them on WikiTree. Add them to my personal category, and I'll pick them up the next day. And I will say, David, your comment is probably one of the most popular ones during the Connecting-thon. And it really, that's the best way to explain it, is that you're adding as well. Okay,
Yes.
so
And
then
we sometimes use the word attaching versus connecting. Connecting means connecting to the tree, but attaching is connecting somebody to another to one person to another.
To another profile.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it does get confusing when we use connecting for both.
Connect-a-thon, connect-a-tree.
Both terms, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I enjoy, even though I don't get a point for, it's when I connect someone's unconnected tree, or I connect a WikiTree to the main tree. Even though I might not get a point for that, because I'm connecting existing to existing, that makes me feel a bit better. And I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't doing the connect-a-thon.
Yeah.
Very true. You've got a really good point. I don't think I would have done it either. And to carry that thought through, someone in one of my teams today had 2 that they needed already existing on WikiTree to connect. And we were going through the rules, and they said, you know what, it doesn't really matter. It's good for the tree. Let me just do it now. And that way I won't forget. And I agree with you, Darren. If you have one that you know is not going to count as a point, all the ones you add to it will. So it's all good. It's all good for the tree.
Yeah.
I like that, a branch-a-thon.
And what I've done in the previous connect-a-thons also is when I first started on WikiTree, I put all my direct ancestors on. And there were a lot of them. It took a long time, and by the time I got all those on, I was kind of tuckered out. So I still haven't added all the brothers and sisters and aunts, uncles, cousins to my own tree. So this is a opportunity to go back and do that as well.
And it'll help your CC7
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah.
So, and the interesting thing is, once we get a lot of the Olympians, and they'll show this on probably the last live cast, we get the Olympians in and we get their family, and then we can see how much closer we are connected to them as well. And it'll be interesting. I'm really curious to see what each of your teams do. Are you going to keep all 4 Olympians? Are you going to work on them and knock out their CC7? Are you going to ditch 1 or 2 or 3? I'm really curious to see how each team goes. I'm curious to see how our team goes, David. I think we know, but I'm really curious to see how that goes. And
we've been discussing it as a group, so we haven't made a decision, but I think we've got a pretty good idea where we're headed.
And that's part of the Wiki Games, is that each team is an international team, not only profiles. There's two Americans and 1 European and 1 from Darren's area.
Yeah, Australia or New Zealand.
Australia.
And then we have an international team on our members, as far as our members on our particular team. So the goal was that you pick the Olympian who has the best chance of getting the highest CC7 and work with your teammates, and the expertise from each one will take you from there. So I really highly recommend, just from what I'm seeing on my own team, what I would do, start talking, having these conversations tomorrow with your team. If you email them, if you Discord, if you G2G, however you do it, start having the conversations and see what you think. And curious to see.
Yeah.
Something also, we were talking about benefiting the tree as a whole. And as part of the Notables project, every once in a while we get a complaint from somebody that says, why does WikiTree spend so much time on Notables and not focus on regular people? And there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the things that I remind people is, once you get past that famous person, it is just a regular family like everybody else's. And the more connections we make, or the more attachments we make to that tree, the more chances some other family is going to be able to connect themselves to the big tree. So every person you add is one more opportunity for another family to connect. So that's why it's important. We focus on notables because that's what gets attention. If I posted help me with Elvis Presley's family tree, I'm going to get a whole lot of helpers. If I say help me with my grandmother's family tree, I'm not going to get many hits. So that's why we focus on notables. But and it brings in, when we're out in social media and stuff, that's what people are attracted to. But again, once you get past that first notable, it's just a regular family like everybody else's.
It really is.
No, my cat's just knocked something over.
I was going to say mine's at college, so I know it's not mine. Or otherwise, I'd be like looking out this corner of my eye going, oh. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I just want to remind everybody that at 7 a.m. Eastern time is going to be the next live cast. It's different than before. Normally it's at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're going to have it 7 a.m. Eastern to wrap up the sourcing and then move straight into the connecting. And they'll let you know when it stops. There's a 1 hour break so everybody can sleep for about 50 minutes. And then come back.
Unless they're watching the live cast.
Yes, unless you want, don't fall asleep during live cast. Don't admit you fall asleep during the live cast. But then
we know how many people are tuned in right now.
Yeah. So you
Sandy,
got that
do we know how many people are tuned in right now?
There are 27 tuned in.
27.
We lost a
That's
few
not bad.
after the prize, but so keep that in mind that there's a little bit earlier for the live cast than normal fun, so don't miss out. And you've got to be live to get a prize. I think that's about it, guys.
Yeah.
Correct, Ruth. No sourcing after 7.
It will not count, and no connecting until the connect part starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. There's a 1 hour break in between there. So I give everybody a chance to, stretch and do your yoga and have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, depending what part of the world you're at. And
Say hello to the kids.
yeah, say, oh, wait, I have kids? No. Walk the dogs, do whatever you need to do. And like I said, 50 minutes, that should be enough time. So thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate you. The 4 of us will be back same times tomorrow, midnight and 4 a.m. Eastern, but you'll see the 2 gentlemen a lot more. Kathy and I will be asleep, I think. You'll see you guys throughout the day, right? Tomorrow?
No.
No, you won't see me tomorrow. You'll see me on Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, I think I'm doing from, New Zealand time, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
So a lot
That's
of videos.
tomorrow for us, though. Okay. Bye, guys. You
Bye.
got a few more hours to source. Don't forget.
Yep.
Keep sourcing. Bye.
Bye.